guys, welcome back to another livingZEAL video. I just want to give you fair warning really quickly that I am a little sick, so if my voice sounds weird or if I have to take a little break to deal with this action, please forgive me. I just wanted to do a little soul chat today because I love talking to you guys one-on-one, so to speak, about topics that I feel like have really benefited myself and just kind of empowered my life in general, which I think could do the same for you. And I try very hard in these to just speak from my experience and like tell you guys what I know rather than trying to come off as like preachy about whatever. I just want to share with you guys what I have seen in my own life and how I have been able to manifest this life that I currently live, which is living in a bus, living off the grid, getting ready to move to Hawaii, like all these things that have just come into fruition that I still can't even believe, and so much of it is just like solely due to Chad and I meeting each other and falling in love. Like it seems like everything in our life has fallen into place with that critical piece. But if you're on your own or if you're already with your partner and you both want to just change your life experience, I want to share a story on something that was very beneficial for me. When I first found out about bus life, van life, Chad actually told me about it when we worked at a brewery together, and at the time we were only co-workers. I had no idea. I mean, of course I knew people lived in RVs, but I had no idea that like people lived full-time in buses or vans, or I had never even heard the term schoolie before. And I remember that night after I got off work, I went home and I was like fervently scouring the internet on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, trying to see all these awesome DIY conversions and finding channels like Eamon and Beck, and at the time the nomadic movement, of people who were living in a bus and doing it, or in a van and doing it like super happily, and how much less they were paying. I mean, on and on. You guys know about this. That's why you watch our videos. But I had just never heard about it before. I'd never even considered it as a possibility. I really wasn't sure how I would be able to make it happen, because at the time I had plans to move towns an hour away from where I was currently living in 3 months when my lease was up, to go move in with my two best friends, Ashley and Shelby, and that was the plan. I wasn't going to save a whole lot in rent, but a little bit, because it was cheaper to live in Fort Collins than it was in Boulder. So that was the main benefit. But for me, I wanted to lower my overhead as much as possible, because I've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit within me, and I really wanted to give the time to a business and really be able to dedicate myself to it fully. But since I had graduated high school, like I was either still working on education or working full-time to pay the bills. So there was never an opportunity. So a big thing that I did, I remember I was going over that first week, this was maybe like the second or third day after I had like found out about bus or van life, and I'd watched so much content at that point that I was like already convinced I could do it. I didn't know exactly how I would do everything, but I just knew that I wanted to own my own home, basically. And there was really no other viable way of doing that for the amount of money that I could bring to the table. So I was trying to think, like, how the heck can I make this happen? What do I have right now that can make this a reality for me? So I went on this hike into the mountains, as I often do when I'm trying to like tap my inner source knowledge, intuition, power to figure something big out. I remember I started at the beginning of the Chautauqua hike in Boulder, or Chautauqua Park in Boulder, which is beautifully amazing place, by the way. Super magical. And cuties, they're being cute. And I put on the Rich Roll podcast on my way up, because his podcasts are always really full of inspiration and they just really get you thinking, and he always has really just incredible humans on that podcast. So I listened to it on the way up. It was about probably like 2 to 3 hours. And on the way down, I decided I'd finished the podcast, and I had decided that I didn't want to do any technology of any sort. I just wanted to kind of be silent in the woods and get into my own head. After probably an hour and a half trip down the mountain, all of a sudden I like remember the moment clearly in my head. I like had this epiphany, you could say, where I realized that I had a 2013 Toyota Prius that was completely paid off, and I wondered how much the Kelley Blue Book value of that car was, and if I could sell my car, use my bike to get to work, and then take the money from the sale of my car to buy a bus and do a really like basic conversion, just something that I could get into within 3 months of my lease going up, so I didn't have to start a new lease again. So when I got down, I like was looking up the value of the car and realized, again, it was $13,000, and was like, I could totally do this. I knew about what the prices were of buses. I had no real idea on how much the conversion would be, because there's so many varying pieces of information on the internet about that, of people who do it on a much higher scale and people like us who do it at a much lower scale. So the next night, I had talked to my mom and my friends about it. I talked to my friends and explained to them that I really needed to do this. I needed to move into a bus. They knew how much I loved my car and were like, Zaina, you are not selling your car. And I was like, yeah, I am, because this is an open door for me. This is something that I can turn into an opportunity. Hey baby, can you let me finish this? Sorry.
Are you recording?
It got all flirped.
Okay.
I'm almost done. Just 5 minutes. I'm almost done with this one.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Love you. They kind of thought I was crazy, to be honest with you. They were like, you are not going to sell your car. But I was so convinced, because all of a sudden I saw this open door in front of me, and I was like, holy crap, this has been put in my lap. This thing that I worked hard for the previous year, 2 years to make happen, it's now going to be a catalyst and something I can leverage into an even bigger goal in my life, an even bigger dream. So within a couple days, I had somebody who wanted to look at the Prius. I met up with them not too far from where I lived. It was a really cute little family with a newborn baby that had been in a car accident, and their car had been totaled. So they had about, I think they had just over $10,000 to buy a new car with. So they came, did a test drive, loved the car, were really obsessed with Priuses anyway, and mine was new and it had really low mileage on it. I think it had like 20,000 miles or something, like crazy low on it. And they were hooked. So the next day they drove up to Boulder. I rode my bike into work. No, excuse me. Oh wait, did I? No, I didn't ride my bike into work. I put my bike in the back of my car and then I brought it to work with me. They met me at the end of my shift after I got off work, gave me a check for $13,000. I handed over the keys, and just like that, I had all the money I needed to do my bus conversion. Now, I'm telling you guys this story because I like to think about this whole thing manifesting itself, because I was in a mindset of abundance at the time. I just had such a can-do attitude. Like, never in my life before have I been so driven to make something happen and just could not see the obstacles. I could just see the open doors. I trusted that it would align itself, and then it would. And it was the most like amazing spiritual experience, I guess, of my life, because I had never done something so drastic before, I guess, which now doesn't seem drastic at all, but when you're coming from like the normal societal world, it seems kind of crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you guys, because I think that I have seen a lot of people, I know that I've seen a lot of people in my personal life, friends and family, and especially myself years prior, where I was so bogged down in all the challenges and all the obstacles. I was coming at my life from a point of lack, of I'll never have enough time, I'll never have enough energy, I'll never have enough money, I can't make these things happen. Even though I wanted them, you know, like there's a difference between being a mope who's just like, man, life sucks all the time, and being someone who genuinely wants your life to improve, but still is very mopey about the circumstances, rather than looking at the circumstances and realizing this literally is what I make it. It's just a thing. It's just happening. Is it going to be something that's happening beneficially to me, or is it going to be something that I perceive as negatively happening to me? It's so much of a mental game, this thing we call life. And if you can get to a point where you start to think about everything surrounding you, every step you take and breath you take each morning as an opportunity to be filled with love and abundance, you will see your life, your dream life, unfold right before your very eyes. I'm telling you. It's so incredibly powerful, and it's something that I'm really still using and will always use to keep working towards the bigger things in my life. A lot of you know with the whole Hawaii, sorry, I'm like shaking my hand all around everywhere. A lot of you guys know with Hawaii, I talked about in the last soul chat how you really need to visualize your dreams and think about them as if you already are. So I wake up every morning and I visualize myself on the beach in Kauai and going on hikes in Kauai. I see myself there. I see where I'm going to live and what is going to be the scene outside of our bus windows when we get there every day. It's so tangible to me, and it really keeps me inspired. And just to close this whole thing off, right now I'm really practicing that because I don't love doing something that is not directly related to my passions right now. I don't, and yeah, I've had read a lot of comments on my last soul chat of people being like, well, that's just what it means to be an adult. You just kind of have to just buckle down and get in there, even if it's not what you want, even if for 50, 60 years of your life you're not doing what you want. You have to anyway, because that's being a good adult. I just am vehemently opposed to that entire narrative and perception of reality, and I'm much more grateful and happy to be looking at the world around me as if I already have everything. And Chad's coming back inside.
I just need my ID.
He's being a flirp nug because I filmed this 4 times today and it's now 4 o'clock and I really need to get it done. So I think I'm going to end it right there. I hope that you guys liked this video. I never know if these soul chats are beneficial to just me and cathartic for just me, or if there's also something, see you soon baby.
Okay.
But if there's also something in there that is speaking to some of you, which is always my hope and my intention for these videos. But most of all, I just love to chat about this philosophical stuff and things that I'm doing to just be happier, live a more vibrant life. Like, just soak every ounce of this beautiful, beautiful, rich experience and enjoy it. So, with that, I'm gonna let you go. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to get notified for new videos. Go check out livingZEAL.com. Chad is in the midst of revamping the whole website, which is an ongoing project, but we'd love to know what you think about the micro changes. And I think that's it. Also, thank you so much to our patrons. You guys are amazing. Your support is absolutely incredible and like just blows my mind. I just can't even. So thank you so much. I love you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful rest of your day filled with abundance. What's Chad's new line? Oh, live your zeal. Live your zeal, people. I think that's it.